And when life knocked you down, jump back up and said, it's not over until I win.
What's going on, y'all? It is a beautiful morning here in Kingsland, Georgia. The birds are chirping, the yellow flies are stinging. And today, last week we talked about how my first attempt at rehab was a complete and total failure for benzodiazepines because, one, I wasn't completely committed to getting off of them and staying sober, and two, because the nurses and the doctors that I was dealing with had no understanding of benzodiazepines and how the withdrawal process worked. So today I'm going to be talking about the rehab, the doctor, the process, the whole thing of the tapering process that actually worked for me. And I know there's hundreds of ways to taper off of Klonopin, Valium, Xanax, and so this is not going to be a this is what you should do type of talk. I'm only going to tell you the dose that I came off of, which was 8 milligrams of Klonopin, and I tapered off of that over a period of 7 months. A lot of people that I've talked to are like, dude, that's fast. Let me tell you, it didn't feel fast. I understand why they say that, but it was the longest 7 months, man. I was about to say the longest 7 months of my life, but that's not true because the 7 months that followed after I got off the medication were the longest 7 months of my life. So, anyways, let's get into it. Once again, the only reason that I checked myself into rehab was because I had no other option at this point. Is either this or kill myself. The life that I was living just simply was not sustainable. I always ran out of money, which meant I always ran out of pills, which meant I always suffered withdrawal, which usually meant I could not work and would always lose my job that I currently had. And it just wasn't working. And so my commitment level, I would text my older cousin Josh, who still to this day doesn't really talk to me, and that it's understandable. He was just so fed up with my negative crap, and it still kind of stings. But anyways, I would text him. I'd be like, dude, you don't understand, I might die, man. I might die getting off these things. And he was just like he's like, dude, if you die, you die. At least you're gonna go out swinging. So like I said, my commitment level was up there. So I used to always had a big ass styrofoam cup with me, and I always had my weird combination, kind of ratchet combination of vodka and Dr. Pepper. I would skateboard around with this cup. I would go to work with this cup. Just nuts, man. So anyways, I filled up my styrofoam cup of my last little bit of vodka, and I was like, here we go, man. So I skateboarded to the detox facility, still drunk, still had my little personality, still cocky as all get out. When I got there, once again, I was cracking jokes with the nurses, trying to make light of the situation, really. Not turn it into a joke, but just, that's what I just always try to make everything light. And, was cracking jokes with the patients when I got in there, pissing some of them off like I usually did back in those days. And I met with the doctor. I can't remember his name. I'm about 85% sure that his name was Dr. Abernathy. That might even be a name that I heard in a movie somewhere. So don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it was Dr. Abernathy. And we sat down and we talked, and I told him, man, and I was 100% serious. I was like, look, I want to get clean this time. I'm in this for the long haul. But if we do not do this the correct way, and if we don't go at a tapering pace that I'm comfortable with, then I will walk out this door right now, because it's not gonna work. And he got it, man. He actually understood. I know you've heard me talk about in past episodes how no doctors believe me, no therapist would believe me, nobody believes me. And this guy, he got it. And that meant the world to me. And he played a vital role in my recovery. So when he got on board and agreed to what I was talking about, a little light bulb went off. I was like, this might actually work this time. Now, I can't remember exactly how long I was in the detox part of the rehab. I want to say it was either 1 to 2 weeks. And in that time frame, I cut 0.25 milligrams, which it's not a huge cut, but it was enough for me to start to feel it a little bit. Like what Klonopin, when I was at my comfortable dose, what Klonopin did for me was I always had this relaxed, light energy in my chest. And like I could just breathe. And my face always felt nice and warm and just really felt comfortable in my own skin. So what happened when I went off, when I cut the 0.25, I wasn't really experiencing withdrawal yet, but it was just kind of like it took away the warmth in my face. It took away that light feeling in my chest, and I started to experience what I would consider like normal anxiety, okay? Like I was still very outgoing, but I wasn't as comfortable being as outgoing. You know, I noticed when I was talking to girls now, I was like, I kind of got to like, I can talk to them, but I got to like breathe through my nose. And when I'm talking to a group of people, I need to kind of like breathe and recenter myself here, because I'm not used to being nervous talking to people. And it was enough to like somber up a little bit and get a little more serious and be like, all right, man. I like just talking to myself in my room. I was like, all right, you know what happens when you run out of this stuff. You know what's going to happen to you. You're going to lose your ability to function. And that's when I started to get into the, like, this is war mentality. And started to develop that you're going to have to fight. And I remember on one occasion, these two girls had gotten into a fight. Not a fist fight, but just a fight. And one of the nurses, who I got along with, she pulled me into the office and she was like, okay, so what happened? Were you there? What did the one patient say to the other patient? And I wasn't trying to be rude, but I was being real, like, kind of, I guess, standoffish, a little abrupt with her. And she was like, hey, what's going on with you? Like, I need you to, if you're going to take this program seriously, then I need you to answer these questions. And I was like, look, I do take this program seriously. That's why I don't care about who said what to another person. Like, I am here for my recovery. I don't care about the he say, she say. I paid no attention to that. And once she heard that and she saw like the look in my eye, she was like, okay, this guy means business. So once the detox was up, it was time for me to go to the actual inpatient rehab. and I was nervous, very nervous. I don't think it was necessarily withdrawal nerves yet. It was just scary because, like I said, I was starting to experience social anxiety for the first time in like 6 years, at least, you know, experienced it without self-medicating myself. So not only was I realizing, oh, I'm going to have to be talking to people without my little crutch now, it was just a life-changing thing, going to rehab and knowing that you're going to be in this new place for 4 to 6 months with new people is just kind of a nerve-wracking thing. So as I was walking with the nurse to this new place, my new home, I was scared, to say the least. And but I knew it was important for me to not clam up and to not I didn't want to get too far in my own head. I didn't want to become super introverted or anything like that. So I would force myself to keep talking to the nurses, keep cracking jokes. Luckily, there was a girl there. Like when I got there, there was a girl that I used to hang out with, and she was like, "Oh God, Justin, let me introduce you to everybody." So that kind of broke the ice for me pretty well, because that just made things easier. So I would introduce my people, introduce myself to people, and just force myself out of my comfort zone. And I knew that if I was going to survive this experience, I was just going to have to keep on doing that every day. Because I wanted these nurses to understand. I wanted them to see firsthand, like, okay, this is who I am. All right, I am not some freak show. Like the past rehabs, they got me already in full-blown withdrawal. So they didn't know any better. They didn't know who I was. They just naturally thought that I was a freak show, like born that way. This was just my personality. But these people were starting to see, like, okay, this guy is a pretty happy, outgoing individual. So I knew that once I started tapering off and I started changing, then other people might pick up on the fact that, okay, maybe this guy really is going through something. But we're going to have to save that for the next episode. There's way too much stuff happened in rehab for me to combine it all into one episode. So we're going to break it up into 3 parts. I'm recording this on Sunday. I actually ran marathon number 21 of 2022 yesterday, and now I'm about to hop on the bike for a 3-hour training session for the full distance Ironman. And so I gotta get going. I definitely appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out what this channel has to offer. Hang in there, guys. It gets so much easier. Much love.
And hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain.